Oh, hey, you just caught me steering my New World's first. We better talk about it. Take that as you want to take it. But we've developed something, we've been testing it, and it's working, and I think it's awesome. If you own a Ford JJ3 Dmax, MUX, BT50, this is a new product that you're going to want to know about, and it's a little bit different to everybody else's things that they can do. And I think it's, all you're going to need, and you're going to be super stoked with it. So it's a multi-map. It's the new world's first everywhere all the time. And we've sort of developed this one to suit what I think is what customers need. And everything else is pretty much an overkill. We've brought in another ProCheck power mode switch, so I'm going to show you in a second. But we've tweaked it a little bit to be able to have an immobiliser as well. So you're going to have two tunes and an immobiliser, and they are completely separate from each other, but all in factory ECU. There's no piggyback, there's just a switch, all factory ECU. If we're sticking with the theme of, not anti-piggyback, but if we can use a factory ECU which does more than what it ever needs to do, more than a piggyback can do, why not stick with something that works? We understand how the ECU works, we understand how to do what we want to do with it and make it do the things we want to do. So this is now the next step where we can do multi-mapping. Multi-mapping, why do you need it? Well, mainly I targeted this towards the guys that we're doing the 300 horsepower packages for. So they're making 300 horsepower, and obviously they don't need to use that. They can control with their right foot how much they're using. But if they want to be able to go for a drive, tow a caravan or boat or trailer, or just give it to the missus to drive around low power, they've obviously got to say, here you go, here's 300 horsepower. Whereas I can give them now stock, or I can give them 200 horsepower, I can give them 250 horsepower and the 300 horsepower. And then obviously for people that are touring or in bad areas or just concerned about their vehicle, or their tradies that don't want their cars stolen, we have an immobiliser. So it's all, like I said, it's all run through the factory ECU, no more piggybacks. It is completely customisable, so we can tune it to your needs. My car's complete stock with just the DPF back exhaust. So my car's complete stock other than the intercooler, but outside of that and hard pop. So outside of that, it's stock, exhaust is stock, intake stock, injectors are stock. So I've pushed this one a little bit harder. It's not going to be my all-day, everyday tune, so we made more torque than before, and I'm now bigger tyres. But we'll go through that in a second about what it's making power and torque-wise. But I've also then brought it back to a really economical tune. So every day around town, I can putt around, I can push a button, and then I can have more power and torque. And then I have an option that I've not going to show you where it is and how it works, but you can trust me and I'll show you that it does work. The immobiliser's there. But let's talk about the switch, let's talk about power, and let's talk about and power loss that I've had since fitting new tyres and canopy and everything else. So let's start off with the switch. I've got a custom made switch here, ProCheck power mode. Now when we turn the ignition on, like so, and I can turn the headlights on, you'll see it lights up blue. When we press the button, here we go, our turbo's spooling up and making more power. And then you can do this on and off the fly as much as you want. There's no pulling over and pressing any buttons and trying to get things to do things and wait for tunes to load. It's literally press a button or unpress a button. That is it. Now for the immobiliser, it'll work in both modes. So at the moment it's not in any mode. I'll turn my lights on so you can see. So it's currently not in any mode. You can turn on the power mode there and it will start. If I push my little start button, we'll start up. I can press my power button, I can turn the car off, I can start the car back up, and we're all good. Still in power mode. You can leave this thing in power mode 24/7 if you want. You want to leave in power mode, and then if you want to give it to your mate or your daughter, your son, whatever, your wife, and you want to detune it, you can press that button and turn it off. But what I'm going to do now is engage the immobiliser. Like I said, I'm not going to show you online how to do it. It's a quick and easy thing to do, and then I'll show you that it doesn't start. So our immobiliser is engaged and starts up and shuts straight back down. Just so you see it. Nothing happening. Won't go anywhere. But we disable the immobiliser and she starts straight up. Like I said, that'll work in power mode or your normal mode, and you can use that. You can use that on a flight too if you want to feel very unsafe and and have the car shut down. But yeah, it'll work in both power mode and non-power mode. You can park with it all day, every day, and you can engage that, or you can leave it in normal mode, and then when you are going, I don't know, fly in, fly out, or you're going into you're caravanning somewhere and you're going to a little town, or you're camping in somewhere, or I don't know what the scenario may be. and you're going somewhere and you want to make sure the car's there when you get back, that's what we've done it for. So we've got a Immobiliser. If you go ahead and purchase this kit, when you come through, I'll show you how to use a power button and I'll show you how to use the Immobiliser. But I think it's a big step for insurance and knowing your car's there. Yes, they can break into it, but you've got an alarm still factory, but the car's going to be there. And the way these guys at the moment, or girls, are stealing cars and they're going, this is a lifesaver to keep your car in one space. All right, there's a bit going on here, but let's talk about some things and I'll try and show you what's going on. So this one here is what my car made with stock tyres. Currently it has 32s, well, there are 275, all-terrain, canopy, drawer setup, fridge, all that sort of stuff. The power did come down on it. I can show if you want to see it. Let me know, I can show you. But I then now have put the car back to stock tune with these tyres, and this is what we've got. So we've gone back to 103, which is down on what they normally make. But this takes up power and torque. So now that we've explained those, I'll get rid of these so we can have a bit more prettier understanding what's going on, and we'll give you some heaps of data. So now, low power mode or everyday mode, whatever you want to call it, 128, 459, and then big power mode I have 143 and 558. So I'm pushing a bit more torque than what I was before with the bigger tyres, because it's not going to be there all day, every day. It's just there, well, it can be if I want to be, but I now have my eco mode here. So we'll give you some data so you can see the difference of what's going on. But yeah, we get some really nice big power through the front there and it sort of tapers away, or we can be nice and economical and bring it through at the top. But yeah, some differences. All right, so some data. 24 degrees intake air temp, so that's what it was, 22 here today, but we're both on the same. Our AFRs, so we can see in our low one, we're a little bit leaner, and in our high powered one, we're a little bit richer in the top. So that carries it through nice and flat, good fuel mixtures. This is just our mass airflow, just so I can keep a monitor on what's going on with the mass airflow. But the one you want to see probably is your boost. You can see we're only running sort of 24 and a bit pound. We'll probably peaks at 25, but yeah, sort of 24 and a bit. And then otherwise we're sticking down and around that sort of 22. So we've got two different boost levels, we've got two different fuel levels and two different power levels. So for me, I tow either a horse load or a car trailer, box trailer, go-karting, and depending on what we're doing and where we're going, I can now give this thing options. Before I gave it a pretty good intermediate sort of tune, where it was good and economical, sort of fuel economy wise, but still did tow good. But now I have the button where I want to press it and I can go, balls to the wall, or I can dial it back and sort of tone it down a little bit and be more sedate. And that is customizable. So like I said before, if you've got 300 horsepower or you've got 200 horsepower and it's a stock car like mine, and you want to have that option, by all means we can do it. Or if you have 250 horsepower like I've done with MUXs with just injectors, we can have a 250 horsepower and we can have a 200 horsepower, or we can have a stock and your 250 horsepower. Like we can really change this around with what we want to do, and we still have that Immobiliser in play as well. So it just gives you that safety factor, knowing that wherever you're going to park your car, you can engage that Immobiliser and not have any problems knowing the car is going to be there. And you don't have to try and do anything silly about it. Without going into too much depth, it's really easy. It's just, I don't want to show you where it is and how it works. Just a quick under bonnet to show you. Stock airbox. I do have obviously hard pipes for the HPD intercooler and transcooler. Everything else is stock. I've got DPF still in play down there. I do have a 4-inch DPF back exhaust, which I can show you there, which are available on our website, which I have spoken about before. They are a little bit louder than stock. So if you do want a bit of noise with a DPF in, that's the way to go. You'll get your noise without being overbearing. But yeah, it's a stock car, lift, tyres, canopy, fridge, drawers, and a bit more set up for touring now. I've got a trip coming up to Sydney. So now I can then, depending on how the car drives, what I want to do, I can press a button, engage that power, or I can hit it in cruise mode and just cruise along and be really fuel economical. Like, it's going to be pretty cool on the drive to be able to flip between the two. I don't think you need more than two. I don't know, I could be wrong, but 4 or 5 tunes on a 3-litre 4-cylinder diesel is, I don't want to say a waste of time, but a waste of time. Unless you're making 300 or 400 horsepower and you can bring them down in big increments of 400 horsepower or 100 newton meters drop down, to make it noticeable, other than having a real economical tune, a tune, and then a power tune, that'd probably be cool to have 3 out. But it's just getting too much. You're paying a lot of money for these multiple tunes. This is going to be really priced well. Keep that price down, give you options, but without being overboard to a point of having 100 tunes. It's just, I don't see the value in it having more than that. I've done this on Land Cruisers, and I still do this on the pre-DPF Land Cruisers. It's a similar sort of scenario how they work, and it gives you that stock power or power tow or stock tow or whatever you want to do. We manipulate it to do what you want to do. This is how it's going to work on this one as well. So you can have that option to have bulk power and stock, or bulk power and economical, or bulk power and tow. We can really move it around. So I'll have a discussion with you when you come in, and we'll go, okay, what are you looking for? What's the car got? What's your plans? And then obviously if those plans change, which they do, I've got a couple of customers that come in, I'm talking to you, Adam, and your Land Cruiser. Your first plan is, no, I just want to keep it stock, just a tune and an exhaust and a clutch if it's a Land Cruiser. 12 months later you decide, oh, actually I wouldn't mind going for 300 horsepower. That's cool. We can still use this system in that. So whether we're making 300 or 400 horsepower or we're making 200 horsepower, we can use this system without any problems, and you're going to have really easy results. A push of a button, it lights up. We can change the color of the lights if you do want a different color. If you do want these different colors, I just got this because that's what came in my light bar and stuff. I matched to the color. You will just have to let me know. We do have different colors that we can get for them, because the factory colors are actually white, or light green, like white, sort of weird color. But if that's something you want to change the color of, we do have a couple of different colors we can change to as well. So that's it. That's what you have. World's first, 2-tune and Immobiliser, and it's just another option I think we need to provide to customers. So if that's something you're interested in, give us a call, 549-4626. Come down, see me, come check out my car. Unless you're going ahead and purchasing, and I'm not going to show you how to do the Immobiliser. So if you do go ahead, once you pick up your car, I'll show you how to do it. But other than that, you can come take my car for a drive. I think that's a bit of a standout as well. This isn't just me spruiking it and saying, hey, I can do it. Come down, take my car for a drive. My Hilux is here for the moment. It's actually coming up to its lease term. We're going to get something else. But if you're interested, maybe that's a question for you. If you're interested in the Hilux, should I buy it? Should I sell it to one of you guys? Should I trade it in? Should I talk to Mac Preston and give it away? I don't know. But I do need to get a new car in the next month or two, and that'll get a new build and start again. Sorry for the guys within 80 followers, but there's new cars coming out, so I need to progress and keep going. But that's the whole reason for this car, is I can R&D on my own car, and I can give you guys the benefits of that, knowing that this has been my car for like the last 2 weeks. I've faulted any problems, not we had any, but I went through and really dialed that tune in to know where I've got things to work and how I want them to work, and have a really big difference. So when you flick the button, you know. Whereas if you're going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tunes, there's going to be very minimal changes that you can physically feel. Whereas this, you're going to feel a difference between a big jump in torque and power, and we can manipulate those either right up or right down, whatever we need to do. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully there's heaps of information there for you. If there wasn't enough, drop a comment in below. I'll try and respond to you there. Pricing I'll put on the website, so it's all on there, and that's pretty much it. So make sure you hit that like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.